What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk. Somehow, Manchester United have managed to ruin our weekend, even though it's the international break,
Yeah.
because Sheikh Jassim has withdrew his bid for Manchester United. And let me read the actual article for you, which, to be fair, Fabrizio Romano had broke, which we didn't expect. In terms of which kind of journalist, we thought it'd be a financial report. Of course, we had all the reports coming out from Bloomberg about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, which was pretty significant. But Fabrizio Romano tweeted within the last kind of hour that Sheikh Jassim's bid proposition has been rejected again by the Glazer family. As a result of this, Sheikh Jassim has informed the Glazers that he's ready to withdraw from the process. He presented a fully cash bid, clearing all the debt with zero new debt for 100% of the club. His team has declined to comment on this news sighting because of confidentiality restrictions, but I've confirmed they have withdrawn from the process. And apparently, as well as Treyas, like I said, he presented a new proposal with a new structure with the Glazers as well. So this wasn't even just the original bid. This was another bid within the last couple of days where he said to add a couple of million, like $100 million onto this. The current valuation of United right now on the market is $3.2 billion. And the new bid that Sheikh Jassim put in was almost double that. Plus an additional amount, which is $1.5 billion to finance the stadium, the academy, the women's team, everything else. Has still been rejected again. And after 12 months almost, it's nearly the anniversary since they announced that they're looking for strategic alternatives. Well, it's kind of in that line there, isn't it, where it is a strategic alternative because Ratcliffe has come in with this now, where Joel and Avram get to stay, get to do whatever the fuck they want, and basically still keep control for the long term at least. So, what's your initial feelings when you saw this story break? And yeah, just talk to me about it because it's a fucking mess in it again from United.
The one thing that actually, hit me was that even though all this stuff has come out, nothing has been reported that Ratcliffe has won. Like, you cannot
Yeah.
see any single instance where they're saying that, Sheikh Jassim has withdrawn. So now, in an ideal situation, you would think, okay, Sheikh Jassim has withdrawn. It just means that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has won, end of the story.
Yeah.
But you would not even
Yeah.
seeing that. Maybe something else, something completely dramatically drastic can happen at the club, and Glazers might end up staying now, because you're still not seeing anything about the Glazers actually being in the direction to sell the club to Ratcliffe either. We are not seeing anything in that direction. I think this could be the worst news that we could possibly have gotten, because under the Qatari ownership, we could have probably seen a different structure at the club, a different idea at the club. We could probably see a much better club, which might be directed more towards football rather than the business side of things, rather than just globalizing our brand and owners just making money off us and taking dividends out, just leeching off the club, every single moment or every single opportunity they can get. We could probably see a very different version of United under the Qatari ownership, and a lot of people were quite excited about it, and it was practically one of the only reasons that was dragging people along this whole takeover thing, that eventually Qatar will win, eventually we'll see better days. But now that this thing is gone, I don't think the Glazers actually understand the implications of this either, because I'm sure the fans are enraged. Whether it's
Yeah.
fans in Manchester, whether it's fans all around the world, I think all of them are enraged after hearing this news, because the most irritating part about all of this is, if this was to be the outcome after this entire 12 months, why actually drag it out for this entire timeline? If you had to just decline, or if you just had to reject the bid altogether, which is once again much higher than what United is actually worth, much higher than the Glazers initial evaluation of the club as well, and they still just come out and they've still just rejected the bid because they want to leech more out of the club. That's the only reason why he has rejected this bid. Because this, in
No,
an in an ideal situation, if you see this bid is actually overpaying by quite a margin when it comes to the evaluation of the club, and they still rejected it.
fucking nearly double it. Nearly double it. Plus the fact
Plus
of
the
removing
1.5
debt.
billion
No,
on top of it.
do you know what the killer thing is for me? It's the hope that kills you with this club. Like, for me, even this for the Glazers has surprised me. I don't know why, but because we know what they're like. They are the vultures. They're the
Yeah.
capitalists. They'll do whatever lines their pockets effectively. And even the bid that Qatar put was a very, very good offer. A very good offer for Manchester United. A full 100% takeover. And do you know what? In a sense, it's kind of like, well, the Glazers were being too greedy, and now they don't get what they want in terms of that full takeover and the full cash
Yeah.
injection. Obviously, with Ratcliffe's bid, you don't know what's going to go on with that. Like we said, we had a report from Bloomberg yesterday that seemed pretty significant. The fact that there was going to hold board meetings. We had James on from the Ruppeteers yesterday as well, saying I would probably expect Qatar not to go back in again, and he was absolutely bang on with that. But it's the hope that kills you as a United fan, because what's the road now for United? What do we do for the next 3-4
We don't know
years?
anything.
Because it's a 25% injection. What the fuck? What's that going to do for us right now? It's going to do nothing. Maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, people might argue that, oh, well, he'll eventually start ticking things over and doing whatever. He's got his foot in the door. But even you look at his project at Nice and everything that's gone over there, he's done shit with a small club, with all due respect. Manchester United are a completely different beast. And this, for me, does not sit right at all. And I, as a fan, like we did with the Super League, I'm happy to protest every single game until this decision is changed, or something, or
It has to be.
something's changed. The Glazers are gone.
Yeah.
Because you can't keep doing this. How can you string United fans along for almost 12 months saying that, you know, we're thinking a sale's going to happen, a new change, a new start to life after 18 years of just absolute shit as owners. And now we've got to the stage now that actually, you know what? We get to stay on now. So Jim's offered us 25%. He's a fucking enemy as well. For the people who want to Jim Ratcliffe in, and they say he's better for morality reasons or whatever it is, you might be right on that fact. But the fact he's keeping them on board, especially Joel and Avram, after what they've done to the club,
it says a lot.
I don't want him.
Yeah, even I don't. And it says a lot if someone is coming in and actually wanting them to stay on the board and, you know, staying in a majority position or a major position alongside him. Because it actually says a lot about the person. It actually says a lot about the direction he wants to head this club towards. The most annoying part about all of this is that, you know, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe throughout this 12 months, even up until now, I have never heard anything, anything confident, anything regarding what does he see and where does he project Manchester United at? What is his plan with the club? What is his direction, with which he wants to progress this club?
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is, I really don't think that even as a businessman, it's a very bold, it's a very nice move, because you're practically allowing someone who is just leached off the club for about 2 decades, and they are allowing you to come in with a minority ownership. And even in that minority ownership, he'll have no say as to what goes on around the club, because he won't own the shares that Joel and Abraham Glazer actually hold, or the Glazer family hold. So the important decisions of the club will be actually, made according to the Glazers. It won't be made according to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And I think it's a very stupid move for him to make. And on top of that, the most annoying thing is, the Glazers said that they can't invest as much in this, transfer window because of the takeover, because they think that a full takeover of the club will happen. They won't be able to invest as much in the, in the summer transfer window, where Eric Ten Hag demanded actually 3 to 4 more signings to actually happen. And that didn't happen because they said, that we have to move forward with the takeover. So it doesn't make sense for us to actually invest more into the club. Okay, it doesn't make sense, but the full takeover is still not happening, and you're going to be here for the next 4 to 5 years. And by the looks of things, it looks like, this takeover thing is off. When Liverpool's owners first announced that the sale was happening, it wasn't as infuriating when they said that they won't sell the club, because at least that decision was clear and was made within the time span of 2 months. It was never that it kept dragging on for 12 months, 10 months, 75,000 rounds of bids, rejection of bids, then the same bidders coming back into the race and dropping out of the race. I think with the Glazers, they've just dragged the club through mud. They made shocking decisions throughout this time span as well, and I still don't think they understand the gravity of the situation now, because now that they've done this, there's going to be a major reaction from the United fans, and I don't think that they're anywhere near to actually being able to, fend off that sort of a reaction. We all knew, what happened during the Super League and the kind of reaction that brought actually. With this, I think there will be a reaction that actually might be 10 or 20 times the reaction we saw during the Super League.
Well, the thing is, it's not the fact Qatar aren't coming in, so let's riot. It's the fact of the 100% sale. That's the key kind of word there. The 100% sale is what we wanted.
Yeah.
Everybody at the club, even fucking staff, were handing out Glazer out fans inside the stadium, which tells you everything that you need to know. Like everybody, from ex-players to pundits to fans to people inside the stadium, everybody wanted a fresh new start. Everybody wanted these guys gone. And to say, oh, yeah, well, we're selling, but in 6 years' time, it's like, who cares? Who gives a shit if it's in 5, 6, 7 years' time? We don't care. We want change now. Have you seen
Yeah,
the start to the season that we've had? It's been shit. Mike Keegan just put a tweet out saying that Sheikh Jassim believed he would have been the dream owner of Manchester United and is saddened by how it has played out. And I think that is, I agree. Look, you don't know because you see the situation that's happened with PSG. That's been a bit mad. Obviously, that's owned by Qatar as well. But it's just the hope for change. I just feel like anything other than the Glazers, and this isn't including Ratcliffe because he's basically becoming a Glazer for the next 5 years.
yeah,
Anything better other than them would have been so refreshing. You would have had changes at board level. You would have had investment across the club. It seemed like the perfect opportunity. And after waiting so long to like, get this fucking dagger in the heart, it's so upsetting for me as a fan. Like I struggle to support this club at the best of times. Obviously, I continue to do it because it's the club. It's you grow up idolizing it from when you're young. It's what you grow up with. It's what you know. It's kind of like your religion. And now I just feel like it's so far removed. This badge is so far removed from what it meant in the 90s and the early 2000s. I don't even recognize it as a club
yeah,
anymore under these new
yeah.
owners.
I think
That's the upsetting thing.
the biggest thing is at some point it used to be that the Glazers are a separate entity and the club is a separate entity. So if people used to go out, they used to go out at the owners, at the Glazers. It has gone down in such a bad way and it has come to such a point that the club's image has been completely tarnished by the Glazers. Like if people or any Manchester United fan to this day, at maybe 10 or 12 years back, if you would have asked, what do you think of when you say Manchester United, they would have said, Sir Alex Ferguson, Champions Leagues, Premier League trophies. Now, if you ask me, what do you think of when I say Manchester United, I just say, we've got pathetic parasite
Bad
owners.
recruitment.
Yeah.
Different manager every year. Like it's just unrecognized, completely.
We've got owners who would do anything to actually stay at the club, and they would actually put anyone under the bus. They've tarnished the images. I don't know of how many players they've tarnished the images of during the course of
They
this.
don't listen. They don't give a shit. It's clear to me. It's always been obvious to me, especially over these past 5 years with everything we've been through as United fans.
Yeah.
They do not care. They couldn't care less about the fans or anything. Even the staff, even the people at board level, they'll throw them under a bus as well. Like these are when people describe them as parasites. This isn't for like a media clicks or anything like that. They are legit.
Yeah.
The worst owners, one of the worst pairing, if not the worst owners ever to exist in the Premier League. You look at the way they bought the club, you look at the money they've taken out of the club, you look at the Super League, you look at everything that's happened here. They've been fucking horrendous. Horrendous, man. And people will say they've spent this money, they've done that, they've done this, whatever. We generate money. So let's not talk about that. We have enough money.
All the money that we generate, a fraction of that gets used to actually, make not the club better, just the squad, and that too just so that they can get increased merchandise sales and increased ticket sales, which of course they don't put back into the club. Youngsters who actually go out on loan or to other clubs which are in League One or Championship clubs say that the facilities in that clubs are at par with the level of Manchester United or even better. And Manchester United is supposed to be a top 6 club in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They've tarnished the image of the club. They've destroyed the very elements that actually make the club. And they still, if you look at any single owner in the top 6 or even in the Premier League, like take any other club, you will see that every single manager, they have a direction that we want to do this, we want to do that. With the Glazers, it's always money. We want to make this amount of money. We want to make this amount of money in this quarter with this club. And all they're doing is just actually funding their lifestyle through Manchester United. If you associate big clubs to owners, like if I speak about Liverpool, if I speak about Manchester City, the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, these clubs, they are in big matches, they are fighting for element trophies, you will see their owners actually integrating them with the squad, with they are present in the stadiums, and they have a very good relationship with the fans no matter how bad the situations might be at the club. With the Glazers, we are in a bad situation because of the owners. I still don't remember the last time I actually saw any one of the Glazers present at Old Trafford. I've never seen them interacting with the fans or with the players. And I think out of all the clubs that are present in the Premier League, we've got the most casual attitude when it comes to the managers, and as well as when it comes to the allotment of the managers when it comes to different positions. I'm not talking about Eric Ten Hag, but I'm saying the manager positions when it comes to the board, when it comes to allotting the right people in the right position. It is very casual, and for them, all that actually makes sense to them is how can we actually mint more cash out of Manchester United. Like, I've never heard Avram, Joel, or any one of the Glazer family coming out and saying, we've got this direction under this manager, and for that we've
Yeah,
appointed this person and we've done that. I've never heard that. I've just heard we're doing this, we're doing that. They don't. I still remember, I think it was Abraham Glazer who said that Cristiano Ronaldo came through the academy at Manchester United at the age of 15 or 16. Like, they don't know any element or any history about the club either.
no, they are pure businessmen, if that's even what you can call them, and they have no morality, they have no care whatsoever for this club. And the fans like us, who, especially with the channels and things, and you got season ticket holders who dedicate basically the life to covering United and everything around it, and it kind of affects the mood during the week, during the weekend. Obviously, you get results that go against you. This happens, but they've just taken joy out of so much, out of everything that you get as a supporter in general. Now, people argue, fans of Accrington Stanley or whatever, saying you're in the Premier League, you're one of the biggest clubs in the world. It is what it is. But the way it's ran, really, for being honest, it's ran like a League Three club. It's ran like like we are not.
It's a miracle where we are right now. It's genuinely a miracle where we are present right now.
We're not top in the world in anything, to be honest with you, apart from maybe reputation or commercial or whatever you want to call it. Right, I just want to dive into some comments. There's quite a lot of them. Aaron Gregory saying 7 billion rejected makes you sick. Box says the Glazers were never going to sell. UTFR says United have finished mediocre shit. That's me done with them. I won't be renewing my season ticket next season. Those bastards are going nowhere. Absolutely agree with that. We've pissed away our best chance of competing again. We're going to stay in the mud with them leeches. Babatosh says, seriously, I'm pissed off. So many people angry in the chat. Charlie Malman says, Jassim can't be that sad. If he really wanted the club, he should have bid more. 1 extra billion would have been peanuts for him. But it's not the point. It's the principle as a businessman. If you're making a deal, if everybody in the world, if you're a businessman and you're buying things like Manchester United, you obviously have large things around the world that you own, right? So when you go into another business deal, people are just going to look at this transaction and go, well, they end up paying an extra billion, so we'll just wait until and then it has like a knock-on effect on other business deals.
Yeah.
So they're not just going to pay whatever it takes to get to it, to get, pay 10 billion when the market of it literally says the market is $3.2 billion. He was offering nearly
if someone
double.
is already overpaying by double the margin, like the evaluation that they put in was well over 6.5 billion, and on top of that a 1.5 billion in investment. So if you add that up, it comes to around 8 billion for a club that's worth 3 billion at best. If you take into account how we started the season, that value should have gone even lower.
Plus the debt, cleared.
The debt, the economic situation, the financial situation, the upgradation that the stadium needs as well. It demands a lot of money, and
it's fucking unbelievable.
I just think the Glazers, they've taken a lot of things casually at this club, and they've taken this takeover thing really casually as well. But the fans haven't, and I think it has genuinely now come to a point where we'll be seeing a very, very aggressive reaction from the fans, and I don't think the Glazers are very well equipped to actually handle that.
We had James. I've got to give James from Upstairs a shout out because we had him on yesterday. He's been so accurate with a lot of stuff this summer. And he came on yesterday and he was speaking about Ineos, and he said he had good links in Ineos and his source has been spot on since day one. Everything about Jim Ratcliffe, and what he said to me yesterday, he was like, I don't think Qatar are going to bid again. The fact that he's having a board meeting is significant. He feels like it's going to go towards the Ratcliffe way. And you still got these. The one thing that's annoying as well is all these sort of ITK accounts and all these Qatari journalists on Twitter and all these kind of guys that are reporting constantly and playing and toying with Manchester United fans' emotions, saying it's done. Don't worry. Do you remember Rio Ferdinand? Fucking what was it 6 weeks ago or something?
Yeah.
Outside a train, like Qatar, it's happening. It's blah blah blah. It's whatever. And again, it's just like, why? It frustrates the life out of me because you've been pulled. Some people are able to kind of nullify it and not think like Chivy, for example, and Sam, and they'll just be like, don't care, just tell me what happens. Whereas I'm a guy who's kind of heart on the sleeve, so I kind of react to a lot of things, whatever it is, emotionally, in this thing. And obviously, we are deep into this as United fans because we run a channel. Everything we do is Manchester United, effectively. So it's proper upsetting the fact that this has come out now. It really, really is.
This was the one thing that was actually carrying us on for this last, for this past year, that, eventually it will happen. That maybe it doesn't happen now, but maybe in January, maybe next year, February, maybe next year, March, but probably it happens sometime soon, and hopefully it's someone who can get 100% ownership of the club, and the Glazers can show they wear out.
It's going to be Ratcliffe now. Hands down. I don't
it has to be.
Nobody else is going to come into the race.
The worst scenario just can be that they don't decide to sell now and they just, stay on. And even if that happens, I won't be surprised. But I think the fans, right now, with the condition that Old Trafford is in as well, if something drastic has to happen inside the stadium, the Glazers even don't have the cash to actually pull off something, when it comes to rectifying damages that can be done to the stadium. We've been seeing I still remember what happened during the Feyenoord and Ajax game. And people were just pissed off because, the team was losing 3-0 and the club wasn't backed that properly. There wasn't enough signings made. There wasn't the, better signings made. Imagine what it would mean to, fans who have been just wanting a moment to actually come for the past practically 20 years. And they've been dragged along for an entire year, and now it has come to a point where they just said this isn't happening, and might actually come to a situation where the Glazers actually stay on, and this takeover thing is just taken out.
Yeah, it's not good enough for me, Ratcliffe. The 25% bid. I mean, the bid initially anyway, the 69% or whatever it was, wasn't good enough. You want 100% takeover so we can start making massive changes, and that can't happen now. He comes in, there might be a slight cash injection, but it's so messy. Because he's got 25%, and then the Glazers have got 25%, and then these shareholders got this percent. It's just like a minefield. So you've got to then consolidate certain stakeholders that are at the club. I don't want this bid. Really, really don't want this bid. Charlie Malman saying, I'm a realist. His bid did not reach the value. I've already said that. The news is disgraceful and heartbreaking as a Manchester United fan. It's like a dagger to the heart. Glazers are thieves of hope and joy. DJ Superfly says, blood-sucking motherfuckers, riots incoming. Dan says, it's like whether you want one-time income or regular income, and the Glazers have gone with regular income. UTFR says, I hope the Glazers have a huge business crisis and they get fuck all in the future. This club never allows you to have a weekend without bad news. That's what I mean. They've even managed to ruin the international break.
Yeah.
I said that at the start of the video.
United isn't even playing.
They're saying, you know what? Don't have to worry about, results not going our way or whatever, ruining our weekend. We could just relax and chill. No, absolutely not. That's not the way it's going.
But, Vincent says, it has actually come to a point. It has actually come to a point where I'll say, even if, United come back, whether they win the next 4 to 5 games, whether they lose the next 4 to 5 games, to me, it doesn't matter. Because I think the worst that we could actually get as fans, it has happened. And right now, I think performances on the pitch are the last thing on my mind. The only thing that on my mind is, now what will happen? Can Sheikh Jassim still come back into this, or can he not come back into this? Is there someone completely different still present in this entire takeover thing? Because that's the only thing that I can think of right now.
For me, it seems. I mean, a lot of people say that Chivy said in the chat he thinks he's bluffing. He thinks he's a bluff or whatever. And look, if people want to believe that, then maybe. But he put in anyway was big and was a very good offer. The fact that he's then gone on in the past couple of days, increased that by hundreds of millions of pounds, and restructured the deal for him, and they still went, no, not enough. I can't see him. I don't know what you think, Shreyas. I can't see him coming back in after that. I think he's done. Because his other clubs, there was links where he was saying he could have bought Inter Milan, he could have bought this thing, and that's the thing that's going to happen now.
But they decided to take it off. Yeah.
For all them people who said they didn't want 100% sale to Sheikh Jassim or they didn't want Qatar in or whatever, I understand it. I get your certain side of things when, like I said, with the morality code and stuff. I get it, right? But now he will probably go by a Premier League club like a Tottenham or someone like that. And when they're sitting, they won leagues and they won Champions Leagues and they look like the most well-run club on the planet. We're going to be sat here with fucking Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Jim Glazer, you might as well call him now.
Yeah.
Sat with the other siblings, sat there going, oh, look at all these dividends coming in. Look at all this money that's coming in. We'll invest in that. Don't worry, we'll sort that. Just get Champions League again and then we'll rerun it up. We're going to get left behind, effectively. This was a huge chance for us for a change.
Yeah.
And the boat has gone by because Sheikh Jassim just simply said, right, I don't blame him. It's been a year. He's been sat waiting a year for this. He's like, right, I'm not wasting my fucking time, but we're going to go for another 12 months now and be like back and forth and saying, up your bid by another 100 million. That's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. So I don't blame him for pulling out. It's absolutely horrendous, man. I can't believe this news. It's just like,
yeah.
I don't even know what to fucking think.
And came at the worst timing as well. Once again, came at the worst timing as well.
Yeah. Look at this season, bro. Just reflect on the start of this season. Greenwood, Antony, Sancho, the injuries, the results, the pre-season, fucking everything else, the scouting department that's being changed, investigations into the club, leaks out of the club, the sale of the club now going against us. I don't think you could possibly have a worse start if you tried to a season in all aspects of a club. Honestly, I don't.
And
there's even questions over the recruitment.
And across all this, Ten Hag is still working in this club.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point you make, actually, because Penny, for Ten Hag's thoughts right now, when he's seeing this news breaking, he probably already knows, to be honest with you. But he's sat there thinking, I am trying to work magic here on a dancing carpet, and it's almost impossible. Now this news that, he's probably looking at it thinking, if Qatar come in, the investment I'm going to get, the backing I'm going to get, the structures that can be changed, it's going to be so good for me. Can't wait for let's just hold, he's probably said to the players, let's just get through this tough period, let's just do this and see what happens, and then we can, look at amendments and changes and board level changes and stuff like that. I'm actually really upset by the fact that they've done this. Really, really upset as a thing.
I think the fact is, Sheikh Jassim is still not done. If it's not United, he'll go and buy someone else, whether it's Tottenham, whether it's another club. And if you look at the way these clubs will be run, like imagine Tottenham is going to be under Qatar. You've got Liverpool, who might not actually make that amount of money that United does, but the way they are able to deploy that money into signings into the club, it's actually very useful for them. And it works for them, makes them competitive in different leagues. City are well run. Newcastle are still baby steps into new ownership, and they are doing wonders on the pitch. Okay. You've also got Chelsea, who, with time, I know they'll come good as well. Arsenal, they are actually doing wonders on the pitch as well. Then you've got Brighton, teams like Aston Villa as well. They've got a completely cash-rich club, got a very, very stable manager, working wonders there. You've got Brighton, who are actually doing, making great strides in the Premier League. So that's 6 or 7 clubs already there who are going to be well above Manchester United.
And left behind, mate.
With time, the bar is going to drop lower and lower and lower, and
we're going to go like that.
Yeah,
basically, that's what's going to happen. Absolutely agree with you on that. It's going to be interesting to see the developments we get coming out of this now, because I don't know if it's going to be immediate. I don't know if it's going to be start of the week. I don't know what's going to happen.
Sure. And something will come tomorrow or the day after.
With the Sir Jim Ratcliffe thing, because I'm just expecting that to come through now to say that this is going to happen. And anyone who wants to do the background checks on Sir Jim Ratcliffe, everything he's done at Nice, just with businesses in general. Even James was kind of touching on this. He usually goes in for like a smaller stake and then eventually gets it for 100%, takes it off the market and owns it, which, from a business perspective, you understand that. From a fan perspective, it's not great for us. And from a football perspective, you look at, like I said, everything that's gone on at Nice, it's been pretty shit. When he first came into that club, he put a statement out saying, we're going to compete with PSG, we're going to do this. The highest place they finished is like 5th.
Yeah.
And the results on the pitch has been pretty bad as well. They had a load of arguments at board level with people being sacked and managers being sacked and all this kind of stuff. So forgive me if it doesn't fill me with confidence, this bid that he's going in for and the future of Manchester United now.
Yeah, and he's got his best finish in the league has been 5th in a league where the only team that actually is half decent, I would say, is PSG. It's not a competitive league at all, and still he can't even make top 2. It speaks volumes once again, and I just think it something will come out tomorrow or the day after, and it will be regarding Sheikh Jassim that his bid was never at the level that is being said, or Qatar were never as
So,
driven towards buying the club. Something will come out just to actually,
you,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry, I was just saying you make a very good point there because you're going to see spin for the
Oh,
next
yeah,
week
yeah,
to
they've done it all the
3 weeks.
time.
Yeah, 3 weeks saying, well, actually, Qatar didn't offer what they proposed, and they didn't do this, and they'll blame something political, or they'll blame it on I don't know what they're gonna do, but they'll find some kind of loophole to kind of appease the fans or settle
Yeah,
down the negativity. But like I said, for me personally, I'm sure you feel the same. It's irrelevant to me whatever they try to put out there and how they spin this story. Someone put in the thing there. I think it's time for Manchester United fans to start boycotting games. The
I
issue is
agree.
with that. I've been to most protests that have been there and done as much
But
as
it
I
is very
possibly could. I
difficult to
remember when
pull off.
we got the Liverpool game called off, which was absolutely huge when
Yeah,
we was all on the pitch and stuff. Um, I as a fan will do as much as I possibly can. The thing is, we're boycotting matches because we've got so many international fans. It's impossible. It's
it's
impossible
very
because
difficult to pull off. Yeah,
the next kid, and I'm not blaming them because some of them are kids, the families and stuff like that. Like I get it, they just want to go to a game and they just want to watch it. I completely understand it. But from our perspective, we don't want to line the Glazers' pockets. So by boycotting it, someone's just going to take that ticket effectively, and they'll sit in our chair and they'll buy the merch and they'll do things like that. And again, like I said, it's families, so you can't really. I'm not moaning at them for doing it. It's just like I said, it's almost
yeah,
impossible to kind of pull off and stuff. Saint Nolan says people can say it's unfair and it shouldn't be this way, but it is, and we have to accept it. I don't know if he's alluding to the boycotting thing there. UTFR says, plus look at the games we've won. They're by the skin of their teeth. We could easily be beat on 0 points. We could easily be on 0 points on rock bottom. That's
yeah.
such a good
We could
point.
be. We
That's
could
such a good point.
definitely
The
be.
Wolves game. Oh my God, the Wolves game. They had like
Wolves,
26 shots
Forest.
on game.
Yeah,
Burnley, we only won that Burnley game because of the Johnny Evans magical assist out
yeah.
of nowhere and the Bruno Fernandes,
Brentford.
which happens 1 out of 100 times. Brentford, very lucky. Scott McTominay, 2 goals towards the end. The rest of them, we've been beat and deservedly beat. So, look,
And we
my
haven't played
prediction for
one
the
game
future
of
now,
convincing football throughout the season
no,
against any club at all.
sustainable.
Yeah,
90 minutes sustainable, no. My prediction for the club now, Eric Ten Hag probably gets sacked by December, January, something like that. They
yeah,
refresh, go again, bring in probably an interim manager until the end of the season. And then, huge significant investment. Here's 150 million, 200 million. We go again. That's genuinely how I see it go. I can't see it
yeah.
improving. I can't see us buying anyone in January.
And, as,
Like, I
and
just,
if I'm being honest, even when they put that 150 or 200 million in, and whoever that new manager comes in, I seriously doubt he would be pull off the season that Ten Hag did during his first year, like getting third, getting a trophy, going deep into 2 cup finals. I think that's a one-time wonder that can actually happen. And
yeah.
I think a lot of people who are still with the club, they might walk when Eric Ten Hag walks out of the club. Like they might actually walk. And I think this is the worst low. Like sometimes the Glazers surprise me as to how low they can actually go. Like
Yeah.
you can
They
see
go
that this
lower
is
and
the
lower
bar.
every
They go
time. That's
lower.
why,
They
isn't
go
it?
lower. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And they just go, yeah, we're a piece of shit. Now we're a family of shit. Now we're a fucking like just the worst possible level they could. Right now I'm sat here thinking I don't know how you can get any worse. I really for everything that you've done, how can they make it
the
any
worst
worse
thing
apart
that
from
can just happen is Ten Hag gets sacked. And if Ten
yeah.
Hag gets sacked, I'll actually have a very hard
Ah,
time supporting this club then, because I think that that it comes to a point where I say that I'm done. And I
it
think
comes to a
that
point where fans in
yeah,
general, Shreyas, we just need to realise that you can't have this many managers and this many players and this many things happen and still not be successful. Where does it stem from? It's all from the top. Like people wake up and smell the
yeah,
coffee. All the anger that goes on between players and managers and they're not doing this, not doing that. It all stems from the top. It's the owners. It's the Glazers. Why we're in this mess. Whatever way you want to look at it, people can spin off different narratives and stuff, but we all know it. We all know why it's bad. It's people very top, and it trickles down. It's simple as
you're
that.
lagging. One sec, one
Just
sec,
for
one sec.
people joining, like, I'm lagging. I
Yeah, you're lagging.
don't know why.
One
I
second.
can see it there on the screen now.
Yeah,
Yeah, proper
it's
lagging
good now.
out.
It's good. You're good. You're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Positive?
yeah. There is a
So,
delay. There's a low latency delay on the stream, so you see 5 seconds behind or 10 seconds behind to the real time.
okay, so we're okay now, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
I was just going to say, just for people who are joining, again, who they might be clueless to what's going on, Sheikh Jassim has had further discussions with the Glazer family to buy 100% of Manchester United. Sheikh Jassim's bid proposition has been rejected again by the Glazer family. As a result of this, Sheikh Jassim informed the Glazers that he's ready to withdraw from the process. He had presented a fully cash bid, clearing all the old debt with zero new debt for 100% of the club. His team declined to comment on his situation because of confidentiality restrictions, and he had presented a new proposal with a new structure with an extra couple of $100 million. The current valuation of United on the market is $3.2 billion. He had offered nearly double that, plus $1.5 billion into financing the stadium, new academy, significant investment across the team, across the club. Sorry, I didn't mean to think the club. So that is where we're at the moment. I don't know if there's been any updates on Twitter. Let me just double check with that. But that's the latest. Ben Jacobs currently doing a live Twitter space at the moment. I think it'd be interesting to see some of the stuff he's saying on there. But yeah, as for the updates on that situation, that's what we've got. Let me see. Is there anything else? Just double checking just in case because I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
But obviously, Shreyas, we're going to get a huge reaction from this now, aren't we? From fans alike, certain journalists, reporters, and stuff. It's it's sad, man. It's really, really sad.
I actually don't understand, why and what and how this thing will end. Because I think, sometimes when I think that the worst has happened, the Glazers surprise me and do something much worse. So I'm just thinking that right now, the kind of situation that is around the club, we'll be seeing something very frustrating come out in the next couple of weeks. And I think we must be prepared for the next couple of weeks, and we should be mentally prepared for it. And I think is the Sheffield United game at home, the one we play.
No, it's away. Yeah.
So what's the next home game that we have? Because I expect something to happen in that home game. Something will happen for sure.
It's Copenhagen.
It's Copenhagen in the Champions League. So
yeah, Copenhagen.
Something will happen during that.
Oh, they'll know there'll be a reaction.
Yeah.
They'll know for a fact there'll be a reaction from the fans. Like as thick as they are and as uninvolved as they are, they must know that making this decision, the fans are going to be super unhappy and it's going to cause a reaction. But again, they knew that with the Super League and still did it. So
they don't care.
They don't give a shit. Yeah, they don't give a shit. They never have. Let's read out a few more comments and then we can kind of head off.
Yeah.
I imagine Disco Stew's in the chat saying, I imagine, make sure, if you fucking hate the Glazers, leave a like on the video as well if you can.
Yeah.
Disco Stew saying, I imagine if it's not United, they'll go in for another EPL club who will benefit from this investment. I told you.
Yeah, they will. They will.
This is what I said. They will. They'll buy another club and we'll be sat there in awe like, that could have been us.
That would be us.
That new stadium's fucking beautiful. That new academy is beautiful. They've just bought this player. They've just done that. They've just done that. Like, joke. Absolute joke. Simon Stone's just tweeted as well saying Sheikh Jassim is willing to invest around $8 billion in Manchester United. So no wonder he's fucking walked away. No wonder he's walked away from the table.
What more? Does he have to put like 20 billion? Qatar is smart. This guy is smart. They won't, go like a level beyond if they want to get Manchester United. They've already gone a level beyond. Yeah.
UTFR says we're the biggest laughing stock in the world of football. Your Place in the Cosmos says I'm lost for words. I feel numb. And they've ripped the soul out of the club. I mean, yeah, that's very strong words. I agree with that. So the Sheikh Jassim was just a dream for United fans and now have been woken up to reality, unfortunately, Dan. Shah Sam says it's a big question. Are we ever going to win anything in our lifetime? Under these owners, no.
Nothing.
No. Sam saying, I want an apology for all the commenters who I've had to reply to on social saying this was clickbait and Sheikh would still buy us. Yeah. We had a lot of that yesterday, and it was like,
I want to see what happened to all those ITK accounts now. Like, what is there?
There's an account, Shreyas, that's got up to 500k followers by feeding false Qatari news. 500k. So they've exploited United fans on their emotions.
Yeah.
To get followers, to get clicks and stuff
this
like
will
that.
Happen, this will happen. And I've seen accounts actually, on Twitter saying, something big will happen tonight. And it's Sandra Onana getting signed. Something big will happen. Mason Mount getting signed.
Get all the tweets up now and expose every single. Because what they'll be doing now, they're going through them all, they'll be deleting them, all the things. That guy, Sam, you know who I'm on about, and you probably know who I'm on about as well. That guy on TikTok, who, let's be honest, no one fucking believed anyway, but he must be getting absolute dog's abuse now, because every single day, Sheikh Jassim, oh, Qatar, I've got an update. In the next couple of days, it's going to be done, blah, blah, blah. Like, shut up, mate. You don't have
You
a
know
clue what's
nothing.
going on.
Yeah.
Some guy from a random fucking city is going to have more news than Bloomberg and Reuters and people who actually have connections to the Rain family. Rain group, sorry. Like, just fucking go away. Slow Sports News, 120k followers. Salford Reds will probably do something crazy now. Yeah, fuck knows. I don't know where. Don't know where to go from here. I suppose we just kind of wait until we get any more updates on the situation. I expect some stuff to come out from Sir Jim Ratcliffe on this front. I think
I
that's
expect something to actually officially come out of Qatar tomorrow or the day after as well. Like after the kind of thing that has happened, and I think this is the first time that Qatar has actually lost in a bidding war actually. So they'll come out with something as well. And the thing is, when this sort of stuff happens, Qatar are very harsh. So whatever happens, it will be very, very, it will be very bold, and it might be a little hard to read as well. So we actually need to be prepared for actually what's going to happen in the next couple of days.
I'll be fucking devastated if Sheikh Jassim sits there now and goes, you know what?
I'm just going to buy Liverpool.
Fuck them. I'll just go buy Liverpool. I'll go buy these guys, and I'll go make them Premier League champions. And fuck you, and just basically like that. Because like he said, he felt like he could have been a dream owner for us. Like, and it's just, it's proper. Like, have you ever been punched in the stomach or like had a football kick and you get that wind taken out of you? That's what I feel like right now.
Yeah.
Fan. It's just very, very disappointing. But look, we'll have to wait to see what further updates we get. And of course, we will go live for it. So make sure you guys turn on your notification bell, leave a like in the video for us, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Of course, if anything else breaks tonight, if it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe or anything on the ownership situation in general, we will be live again. And yeah, I dropped a video before. I don't know if anyone's in the mood for watching it after all this shite. But I dropped a video before pre-record on Andre Onana, which, I put a lot of work into. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out and you've got some free time tonight, I would advise watching. It's a very good video, very detailed in terms of his unorthodox style as a goalkeeper. Why we bought him, the analysis on him, just kind of backtracking up until his days in La Masia at the Barcelona academy. So it's a really, really interesting video. So yeah, check that out and let us know what you think. Mike Keegan just tweeted, breaking, Sir Jim Ratcliffe deal. Don't do this to me. Sir Jim Ratcliffe deal for 25% of Manchester United viewed as the first step in a gradual takeover set to be ratified at board meeting in the coming week. So yeah, that's pretty significant. Yeah,
it's done. It basically says it's done. Yeah. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to be a minority stakeholder at the club. Then Glazers are the owners.
Right. Yeah. Let's leave it on that, Shreyas, because I'm gonna fucking blow my lid if I stay on anymore.
Yeah.
Right, guys. Have a lovely weekend if you can, because it's just almost impossible with that news coming out. Try not to drink too much in relation to this news. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.